Hello? Oh. It's been a while, hasn't it? I know we haven't been able to talk much recently. Things have gotten rather hectic lately. You see, a new member just joined our team. Apache, of course. Rigged it the way he always does when meeting someone who hasn't gained his trust yet. You know how he can be. He and a new team member are pretty different. But I'm hoping that eventually they can end up working together. Maybe I just need to have a talk with Apache about it sometime, before he gets too out of line. How do Narancia and Fugo feel about him? Well, it's a bit hard to tell what they think of the new guy so far. They were in the middle of one of their arguments when I brought him over. Those two can go from being the best of friends to fighting like cats and dogs as soon as something gets on Fugo's nerves. Ah, Mister. Well, at least he seems to be getting along with the new team members so far. Hopefully it will stay that way. Anyway, that's just what has been happening with me recently. Enough mafia talk for now. What I really wanted to ask you was, how have you been lately? This time of year is pretty busy for you, isn't it? Is everything alright with you these days? Oh, come on. You can open up to me. You know that if I ask you something like that, it's because I truly want to know what your answer is. You don't have to tell me that you're just fine and keep me from worrying about you. You already know that I have ways of finding out whether someone is not being truthful with me anyway. But even so, I want to hear it from you. So, tell me, what is it that's been troubling you lately? Oh, I understand. You've been having to deal with a lot of stressful stuff lately, haven't you? Oh. Sounds like you're really being overwhelmed, having to deal with all that. No wonder it's beginning to take a toll on you. You're only human. Of course you'd be struggling. Given everything that you've been dealing with these days, must be so difficult. I know I mentioned things have been hectic for me too lately, but that doesn't mean that your worries aren't just as important. I want you to know that I'm here for you, so you won't have to handle everything all of your own. Of course, your worries are important to me. I know you might feel like you aren't worth worrying about, but it's impossible for me not to think of you and feel concerned over your health and well-being. Both your physical and emotional health are important to me. And they should be important to you too. Even if you're not battling stand users or leading a squad of gangsters. Or merry band of misfits in my case. You still need to be in good health to tackle whatever you have ahead of you. whether it's school or work or family, or whatever unexpected obstacle life might throw in your path. It's so much easier to handle all those things if you've been taking proper care of yourself, rather than neglecting your health. And from what I can tell, it seems like you need a little help right now. So let's figure this out together, okay? No. Listen to me. There's no shame in needing help. Needing help is not a flaw, doesn't make you weak, and it does not make you any less of a person. There isn't a single person on my team who hasn't struggled and needed help during some point in their lives. Their past do not define their current self. They are still important to me, no matter what they struggled with before. And the same goes for you too, Carissima. Your struggles do not make you a weak person. You're a strong, brave person who's capable of so many things. You're doing your best to keep moving forward, even when life makes it seem impossible. Do you realize how much strength that takes? I'm so proud of you. I mean that, with all of my heart. I really do hope you realize how strong and capable you truly are. You're exactly the kind of person I admire. What is it? You're surprised to hear I admire you. Well, of course I admire you. You have such a kind, beautiful soul. Listen, you're talented, you're courageous, you're good-hearted. All of those traits are worthy of admiration. But of course, you're the one who has to believe those things about yourself. You have to believe that you are worthy of love and respect. So try to believe it, okay? You go through enough already. Being harsh on yourself doesn't solve anything. Yeah, I know you want to continue to improve yourself, and I'm proud of you for that. But you have to be gentle and patient with yourself, and take things like that day at a time. And if that sounds too overwhelming, it's okay to go even slower than that. And if that sounds too overwhelming, it's okay to go even slower than that. You can take things 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, whatever space is most comfortable for you. Any effort you put forth is enough. It doesn't matter how slowly you go. What matters is that you keep going. Even if my words seem difficult for you to believe right now, keep going no matter what. Don't you ever give up on yourself, okay? You have to promise me that you won't. Good. I'm glad that my words are able to comfort you a bit. Just remember, you have enough time to do whatever you need to do in order to get to wherever you want to be. You don't need to have everything figured out right now or finish everything all at once. And to me, it seems like you have been working very hard today. How would you feel about taking a little break for a while? It's important to get away every so often and just relax. Oh, yes, I can definitely understand that. It can be hard to relax and have fun when there are a lot of worries hanging over your mind. That makes sense. It is a lot easier said than done. When you're struggling with a lot of things, even relaxation can be like a challenge. But maybe you can try to enjoy yourself a little bit anyway. Even if it doesn't take all your worries away, maybe it would be okay to put some of your work aside for now. You can always go back to your responsibilities later. Short break won't set you too far behind. In fact, in my experience, breaks can make you feel even more productive. They always leave me feeling refreshed and ready to take on whatever mission is ahead of us. And I always encourage the rest of the gang to take breaks for that reason as well, as long as they don't slack off too much. It helps to keep the team staying focused too. So, what do you think about what I said? Would you agree that break sounds like a nice idea right now? So glad to hear that. You know, I feel like I'm in need of a break myself. And there's no one else I would rather spend my time with than you. No, there's no need to get flustered over that. It's the truth. I mean, the entire world to me. You mean the entire world to me. You changed my life for the better, and of course the rest of the gang would agree too. They might not say it much in front of you, but trust me, they all like you a lot. Yes, even Apache. I know that he's not the friendliest guy in the world, but deep down, I'm sure he cares about you. Naranjia cares about you too. Just the other day he was saying how he wished he had an older sibling like you. Mista finds you funny. He always looks forward to having you around to chat with him about all the random topics that pop into his head. He really enjoys hearing what you think. And Fugo has mentioned before that he finds you really smart. That means a lot coming from a genius like him. Oh? What do I think the new guide would say about you? That is a good question. To be honest, I had not really thought about that. Well, I'm still getting to know him, so I'm not sure what types of people he usually makes friends with. Actually, he seems like someone who doesn't mind being on his own too much, so I'm guessing that probably he'll come off as a bit of reserved when you first meet him. But I'm pretty sure that eventually he'll find you nice too. I mean, it's pretty hard not to like you. You're sweet and easy to get along with. Everyone I know ends up falling in love with your personality. So I don't think that will be a problem. Anyway, we still haven't decided where to go during our break. I was thinking there's a new cafe in town you might like. It's not too crowded during this time of day, and there's a lovely view of the ocean right next to it. I'm glad it sounds nice to you. Would you like to check it out with me then? Alright then, let's go.